I've seen that before. Yes, that's perfect. They're going like 30 miles an hour. Why are you in the fast lane? Whew, that felt good, didn't it?
Cut. Perfect.
Mir 5, the Mir series game introducing Asterion, the world's first AI boss monster built with NVIDIA ACE. A script-based boss monster follows predictable patterns, regardless of who the opponents are. As a result, players can easily anticipate and counter the boss's attacks, making the encounter less exciting and reducing it to a tedious task to acquire items. But Asterion is no ordinary boss. Artificial intelligence enables Asterion to analyze the player's information, identify unique skills of each player, and determine who to attack first. Asterion recalls past battles similar to the current situation. It then determines the most probable course of action to achieve victory. Asterion adapts, attacking with unpredictable patterns. It cannot be defeated twice with the same strategy. Welcome to Mir 5. Are you ready to face Asterion?
Why would someone be over here?
Got him! Now you're finished! Got him! Get ready! They're coming inside! Godwin, move downstairs! We can handle it here!
You haven't a chance.
Hey, come on!
What the fuck are you waiting for? Godwin! Get over here!
What are they waiting for? We'll fire onto them!
Shoot for fuck! Get ready for another attack! This won't stop them! Godwin, draw your sword and follow me!
That's it!
Fucking drinks at last! Don't let them climb up! Knock it down!
So this is the AI toy you mentioned before.
This is not only a toy, it's animal intelligence.
Holy.
Really? Huh. Yeah.
Did you draw the thing just now?
This has a very high artistic value. Let's do it.
Do you like to have your vehicle looks more special? You can both change the painting and draw a sticker.
Let the fun begin.
斯维尔，人类最后的城市。废墟之上，游荡着拾荒者、猎人、匪徒，他们烧杀抢掠，纷争不断，为祈求一丝生机，臣服于城市真正的主宰，掌握永生的禁地教诲与横行荒野的司令。他们驱使着宛若神明的力量，将战火洒向大地。
而迷途的寻觅者们终将踏入深渊，挖掘掩埋的真相，并唤醒隐匿其中的伟大身影。当崇高意志与无上的信念针锋相对之时，万千生灵的祈愿将揭晓最终的道路，而生命变幻不息，唯有进化永恒。
Amazing, isn't it? How memories fade, how things change. But with paintings and photographs, they are the only true keepsakes of sadness. Because they don't fade like voices or change like memories. They stay still, holding what we've lost forever. They are the only memories that we won't forget when the world insists on moving on.
Emily? What the hell? No.
Break out your hazmat suit, then look no further than Atomfall. Here at Rebellion, we are excited to introduce you to this new world and what it has to offer. However, there's far more to Atomfall than what we can showcase in a single video. This is just a glimpse of what's to come.
Atomfall is a brand new, single-player, first-person action survival game set in a post-war Britain. It will have you traversing the Lake District of Northern England, uncovering mysteries about the quarantine zone and the people that inhabit it.
My name's Molly. I got some bits and bobs for sale.
My name's Nat, by the way. Forgive me being curious of strangers.
Atomfall takes place in a fictional quarantine in 1962, just 5 years after the real-life event of the Windscale Fire, the worst nuclear disaster in British history. However, in this altered version of history, there are more mysterious and sinister things at play behind the scenes, and you must uncover the secrets of what happened. It's up to you to discover the truth behind the disaster and figure out just how much of this world can be saved.
It doesn't matter what else happened, as long as the truth of this place gets out.
Before you can set out on that quest, you'll awaken in the quarantine zone with little knowledge about who you are, the life you've lived, and certainly the strange new world around you. A rather nasty bout of amnesia.
You're not the first amnesiac I've seen since things went awry.
Are you a law-abiding citizen? A terrifying menace to those around you? Or are you perhaps someone just trying their best to survive in a dangerous, unfamiliar place? The choice is yours, and Atomfall gives you the freedom to embody any role. A village in one of the areas you will visit is controlled by a military group that was sent in to set up and maintain the quarantine after the disaster, a noble cause. But some might question the lengths they've gone to restore order.
I shouldn't be gossiping about this stuff.
Armed soldiers patrolling the roads of the village. Robotic sentinels on a hair trigger, prepared to attack at even the slightest hint of aggression. And villagers who live in fear as a result.
Soldiers will string you up for anything these days, and my husband was exploring where they don't like you to explore.
Does this group really have the villagers' best interest at heart?
But step out of line, and I will revoke your liberties here just as quickly as they were given.
Outside of the village is a lawless land filled with bandits and cultists who don't care if you're friendly or not and will attack you on sight.
Be cautious.
There are so many things to consider on your journey through Atomfall. Exploration is a critical component of the experience, especially when it comes to your survival. The quarantine zone is in the idyllic countryside of northern England, but it is not as it once was. An abandoned rail yard, a derelict stone quarry, and verdant rolling hills contain more than just pieces of a prior civilization. As you explore these places, you'll find secret bandit hideouts, mysterious messages, secrets, clues, and leads that might help you figure out how the world fell apart. These can lead you to eccentric characters, secret hideaways, or even the rundown bunkers of the British Atomic Research Division. You'll never know when or where fragments of the bigger picture will be brought into focus, but you will always need to be on guard. These facilities may not be as populated as they once were. However, the halls are often patrolled by the same robots used to patrol the rest of the quarantine zone, as well as irradiated feral creatures that won't hesitate to tear you apart. You will also come across caves and underground tunnels that seem to have been affected by the wind-scale disaster the most. Glowing plants and mushrooms cover the walls, floor and ceiling of these places, giving off a hazy fog that makes them more dangerous to traverse than other places you may go. However, the environment is not all you need to worry about. The same terrifying ferals found in the bunkers also live in these areas and will not stop to ask questions before trying to tear you apart. Be sure to be well equipped to handle these creatures and be extra cautious, as not everything is as it seems.
You're trapped in the quarantine zone around the Windscale atom plant.
How are you going to defend yourself against all these threats? You're going to need weapons, supplies, and materials, all of which you can find through scavenging the locations of Atomfall. However, if you truly want to survive, some things may need to be taken by force. The weapons you will come across include melee weapons, like the cricket bat, or ranged weapons, like pistols, rifles,
Think you're good with that thing?
and shotguns,
Get this over with, sharp.
each with their own strengths and weaknesses. During your journey through Atomfall, you may even unlock the ability to upgrade your weapons and give them more power. The ammo for these weapons will be in short supply, so you must either find or craft what you need to survive. However, weapons are not the only thing you will need on your journey. You will gather resources, like cloth and alcohol, to craft various items, to heal yourself, or harm your enemies. Over time, you'll expand your crafting abilities to create more aggressive tools of self-protection. Other tools at your disposal include a flashlight to light the dark paths ahead, and a trusty metal detector to locate buried caches of supplies. A handy ping will alert you when one of these caches is nearby, signalling you to equip the metal detector and begin the hunt. When you aren't scavenging for materials or searching for buried treasure, you might also find various manuals that contain valuable knowledge. These manuals will imbue your character with new skills across 4 categories: ranged combat, melee combat, survival, and conditioning. Even at the end of the world, knowledge is power. Careful selection of which skills you focus on will determine your playstyle and the path you carve out for yourself in Atomfall. We won't be going fully in depth on these skills and what each one entails right now, but as you progress, you will need to pick and choose what type of playstyle you want to focus on in Atomfall.
I really should stop talking. Not personal, but you can't trust anyone too much these days, can you?
We hope you enjoyed the first glimpse into the world of Atomfall. Leave a comment with what you are most excited to see when the game releases on March 27th, 2025. Atomfall will be releasing day one on Game Pass, Xbox Series, and Xbox One consoles. You can also play on PC through Windows, Steam, and Epic Games, as well as PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Stay tuned for an upcoming video that will delve deep into some of the gameplay mechanics we mentioned here. This is going to be a game.
We are revolutionizing the Battle Royale genre with generative AI. Introducing PUBG Ally, the world's first co-playable character designed to play like a human teammate. Hey Ally, I'm looking for a level 3 vest and 5.56 ammo. Keep your eyes peeled.
Found a level 3 vest and ammo nearby. Pinged it for you. Enemy spotted. I'm covering.
Is there a vehicle nearby?
Found one. I will come to you.
I'm ready to get into the action now. Can you flank them?
On it. Moving left. Wait, I'm knocked out. Crawling to you now.
Just hang on. Whew, I couldn't have done it without you.
I know. I carry for a living.
In partnership with NVIDIA, presents SmartZOI, the world's first co-playable character built with NVIDIA ACE. SmartZOI redefines traditional non-playable characters by transforming them into truly co-playable characters. A SmartZOI with a considerate personality notices a hungry man. Instead of walking past him, she visits a local bakery to buy him a sandwich, addressing his immediate need. In another scenario, SmartZOI encounters a lost woman. Again guided by her considerate nature, she calmly and effectively helps the woman find her destination. While passing by a street performer boldly showcasing his choreography, SmartZOI's appreciative personality shines through as she energetically cheers for him, hoping to draw more spectators to his performance. At the end of each day, the SmartZOI analyzes the experiences gained, which influence their behavior the next day, gradually shaping a truly unique and personalized character. With the new Thought system, players can also gain insight into what the SmartZOI was silently thinking as they performed each of these actions. Of these unique SmartZOIs guarantees a city that is vibrantly diverse, fostering unpredictable social interactions that create a rich and dynamic story-driven simulation.
AI is changing everything about how we work and play, and computer graphics is no exception. We've been reinventing computer graphics with artificial intelligence since the launch of RTX in 2018. DLSS is always learning. To improve the AI powering DLSS, we analyze image quality and fine-tune our training datasets and algorithms. Then we retrain the model to make it smarter, faster, and easier to integrate. DLSS is the best way to play. Today, we are introducing the biggest advancements to DLSS since 2020, including new multi-frame generation for RTX 50 series GPUs, enhanced frame generation for RTX 40 and 50 series users with faster performance and lower memory usage, and a new model powering ray reconstruction, super resolution, and deep learning anti-aliasing that enhances image quality and stability for all GeForce RTX users. Alongside the RTX 40 series in 2022, we launched frame generation, where an AI network used an optical flow field along with motion vectors from game geometry to generate a single frame between every pair of traditionally rendered frames. The Blackwell architecture is built for neural rendering, and that unlocks new AI capabilities for DLSS. We can now generate multiple frames per traditionally rendered frame. To make this possible, our research team developed a new AI model that generates the optical flow field more efficiently and more accurately in order to generate multiple frames. Multi-frame generation requires consistent and precise frame pacing. DLSS 3 frame pacing had variability because of how different game engines divided workloads between the CPU and GPU. With the Blackwell architecture, the display engine was improved to leverage flip metering when generating multiple frames, ensuring that the GPU delivers consistent and optimal frame pacing. Additionally, 5th generation tensor cores on RTX 50 series GPUs have the computational horsepower necessary to quickly execute the series of AI models. These software and hardware innovations enable DLSS 4 on RTX 50 series GPUs to generate up to 3 additional frames between traditionally rendered frames. This brings revolutionary performance versus traditional native rendering. Most frame generation games available today can easily be updated to enable multi-frame generation with the NVIDIA app. In the NVIDIA app driver settings menu, open the DLSS override and select your desired output mode in the frame generation drop-down menu. When RTX 50 series graphics cards hit store shelves, multi-frame generation will be supported in more than 75 games and apps. In addition to multi-frame generation, our team has also been hard at work developing foundational improvements for our existing DLSS technologies.
Today, we're introducing an enhanced single-frame generation model for RTX 40 and 50 series GPUs, which, like the multi-frame generation technique for Blackwell, uses 2 AI models, one for optical flow and another for frame generation. The result is increased performance and lower VRAM usage, as you can see here. DLSS 4 also introduces a more powerful transformer-based model for super-resolution ray reconstruction and DLAA, using 4x more tensor core processing power to reconstruct images at even better image quality for all RTX owners. Previously, all these technologies used a convolutional neural network model, also known as CNN. CNNs were the dominant architecture for image-related applications during the early years of deep learning development. A CNN processes pixel information through local operations, spatially around a small number of neighboring pixels, and temporally across multiple frames. Now we're introducing a new transformer-based architecture for the first time. The transformer architecture is driving the scaling laws of artificial intelligence, and it's what powers the recent advancement in AI applications. Compared to the CNN models, transformers use self-attention and can much more easily identify the longer range patterns across a much larger pixel window. Transformers scale much more effectively than CNNs, so our transformer models ingest over 2 times more parameters and requires 4 times more compute during inference. In fact, DLSS 4 on RTX GPUs is the first time transformer models generate sequential images at a high real-time frame rate. Blackwell's tensor cores provides additional hardware acceleration that boosts the inference speed of these transformer models even further. When using DLSS super resolution, the end product of the transformer model is more temporally stable with more image detail in motion. In intensive ray trace content, the transformer model for ray reconstruction gets an even bigger uplift in general quality, especially for scenes with challenging lighting. All the common artifacts from typical denoisers are significantly reduced. With the NVIDIA app, GeForce RTX users can optionally update their DLSS games with the transformer model of ray reconstruction, super resolution, or DLAA. In addition to games, DLSS 4 is coming to multiple creative apps, including Unreal Engine 5, V5 Render, and Chaos Vantage. DLSS significantly enhances the real-time viewport experience, multiplying the frame rate in V5 Render, enabling designers to better iterate and collaborate on their work. Neo-rendering is creating increasingly more on-screen content, and these generated pixels are higher quality than what's output by traditional native rendering. With super resolution or ray reconstruction alone, 3 out of every 4 pixels are generated with AI. When adding frame generation, 7 out of 8 pixels are generated by AI. Finally, with the DLSS 4 multi-frame generation, 15 out of every 16 pixels are generated by AI.
With the RTX 50 series and DLSS 4, we've introduced a new generation of neural graphics, so games are more beautiful, run faster, and are more responsive. The AI-powered future is here, and DLSS 4 is the best way to play.
Since programmable shading was introduced over 20 years ago, it's unlocked a wave of graphics innovation. From pixel shading to real-time ray tracing. Powered by 5th-generation Tensor cores and 4th-generation RT cores, the GeForce RTX 50 series is poised to unlock graphics innovations and usher in a new era with neural rendering, made available to developers through NVIDIA RTX Kit. The first of these new innovations included in the kit is RTX Neural Shaders, a new programming model that lets developers train and use tiny AI networks inside shaders. This allows hyper-complex assets to be rendered in real time, bringing games closer to reproducing the high-quality materials you see in big-budget CGI movies. The applications of neural shaders are countless, from materials to lighting to geometry and more. An application of neural shaders is neural texture compression. RTX neural texture compression uses AI to compress textures more efficiently. This reduces texture memory consumption by up to 7 times, while maintaining a high level of visual quality. Similarly, RTX neural materials compress shader code and handle material processing faster, allowing you to fill entire scenes with cinematic quality assets at game-ready performance. In addition to RTX Global Illumination, Neural Radiance Cache uses AI to simulate multiple light bounces, improving lighting quality and performance in path-traced games. Driven by rising expectations for visual fidelity and the development of advanced geometry systems like Unreal Engine's Nanite, geometric complexity has grown exponentially over the past 30 years. To tackle this complexity, RTX Mega Geometry rebuilds geometric data structures used for path tracing in real time, delivering up to 100 times more ray-traced triangles per frame. This breakthrough powers massive, detailed worlds and infinitely complex characters. RTX character rendering brings a new level of photorealism to game characters' skin and hair. The latest algorithms for ray-traced subsurface scattering and strand-based hair give digital humans and characters a more realistic appearance. And RTX Neural Faces uses generative AI to create photorealistic faces from basic 3D rendered versions in real time. RTX Neural Faces takes a simple rasterized or ray-traced face plus 3D pose data as input to control the generation, and uses AI to generate a temporally stable, lifelike face in real time. The high quality of the generated face is achieved via a pipeline that trains on offline generated images taken at every angle, under different lighting and occlusion conditions, and with different emotive expressions. Blackwell reinvents graphics with neural rendering, unlocking path tracing of massive worlds and incredible characters with AI. RTX Kit, our suite of neural rendering technologies for games, will be available at developer.nvidia.com.
NVIDIA spent over 5 years studying input lag and responsiveness, which is how quickly a game displays the reaction to a player's inputs. A few milliseconds can be the difference between victory and defeat. Higher latency can hurt performance through missed hit registration, inconsistent aiming, and disadvantages when holding an angle. In 2020, we launched NVIDIA Reflex, which tightly synchronizes the CPU and the GPU to reduce latency by an average of 50% in top competitive titles. Today, we're announcing a breakthrough in our latency research with the introduction of Reflex 2 with Frame Warp. Over 5 years ago, our esports research team published a study illustrating how players aim better and complete tasks faster when rendered frames are updated based on more recent input. For example, when a player aims to the right, it takes some time for that action and the new camera perspective to be displayed. What if instead, an existing frame's camera could be shifted or warped to the right to show the results much sooner? Frame Warp reduces your camera latency through this concept, which has gone from research to reality. Let's dive into exactly how Frame Warp works. As a frame is being rendered by the GPU, the CPU is calculating the camera position of the next frame in the pipeline, based on the latest mouse input. Frame warp samples the new camera position from the CPU and warps the frame being rendered by the GPU to use this new camera position. The warp is conducted as late as possible, just before the rendered frame is sent to the display, ensuring the most recent mouse input is reflected on screen. In the end, players see the rendered frame, but with an updated camera perspective, reducing latency and improving your ability to aim, track, and hit more shots. Depending on the frame rate, this process can be happening hundreds of times per second, constantly delivering the freshest camera perspective. Gamers are going to feel truly connected to their mouse movements, whether it's tracking a moving target or quickly flicking to aim at an unexpected foe. To warp to the most recent camera position, frame warp shifts many of the game's pixels, which can create small holes in some regions of the image, especially when mouse movements are intense. However, NVIDIA has developed a latency-optimized predictive rendering algorithm which uses camera, color, and depth data from prior frames to in-paint these holes accurately. For example, here's the finals with frame warp and no in-painting. And here's what it looks like with in-painting. The result is a frame which shows the freshest camera position seamlessly inserted into the rendering pipeline. Using this cutting-edge warp process, frame warp reduces latency by around an entire frame time, which amounts to nearly another 50% of latency savings on top of Reflex low latency mode, for a total reduction of 75% from native. Players will experience improved target acquisition, faster reaction times, and tighter aim precision. Let's see it in-game. In the finals, without Reflex, players can see a moderate amount of PC latency. Turning on Reflex low latency mode reduces latency significantly. Activating Reflex frame warp reduces input lag by another 50%, for a total reduction of 75% from native, making it easier to track targets in motion, land flick shots, secure eliminations, and the win. And unlike Reflex low latency mode, Reflex frame warp provides significant latency savings even in CPU bottleneck scenarios. Here, we have Reflex 2 enabled in Valorant, a CPU-limited game that runs blazingly fast. Frame rates are not only insanely fast, but PC latency now reaches below 2 milliseconds. This is the lowest latency figure we've ever seen in an FPS. We're bringing Reflex 2 to top competitive games like Valorant and the finals, with more to be announced in the future. Reflex frame warp is coming soon for all GeForce RTX gamers, and will be available first on RTX 50 series GPUs.